into come, Rosie, tell me to come. So she didn't have a daughter, she did have a son. She said, doesn't run up the stairs and come. And if you don't come quick, you're not gonna know that so. So I grab a bunch of rose and I started to run. Here I come, whoa. 2 months later, she said, come and get this. Cause I don't want your baby to come tie me down. Cause you are old and I am young. Yes, while I'm young, yes, I wanna have some fun. Run me down. Shoodly waddly diddly woodly diddly whoa. Swing. I'm broad, I'm broad, I'm broader than Broadway. Yes, I'm broad, I'm broad, I'm broader than Broadway. When you go to Volcano, it's like a stage show. You have man that swing, DJ and blow. Pull it down, it's Jenny, yo. Swing. And the intercom Rosie tell me to come. Said she didn't have a daughter, she did have a son. She said the lift doesn't run up the stairs and come. And if you don't come quick, you're not gonna see your son. So I grab a bunch of fruits and I started to run. Here I come, whoa. 2 months later, she said, come and get your son. Cause I don't want your baby to come tie me down. Cause you are old and I am young. Just while I'm young, yes, I wanna have some fun. Run me down. Shoodly walk, boop, boodly diddly whoa. Swing. Extra size, extra size.
I'm from a time and
extra
place
size of them size way.
where there's no time or
Extra
space.
broad, extra
Far
broad,
beyond the heavens,
extra broader than Broadway.
way beyond the realm of outer space.
And into Rosie, tell me
I'm from a time and place there's no time or space. Far beyond the heavens, way beyond the realms of outer space, where birds cannot fly and planes cannot go. The blissful land of Dharma Setra, the infinite abode of the soul. I'm from a galaxy far, far away, but I'm going home. Wish I could stay. See you later, Earth. I'm from a galaxy far, far away, but I'm going home. Wish I could stay. See you later, Earth. I'm from a time and place where there's no time or space. Far beyond the heavens, way beyond the realms of outer space, where birds cannot fly and planes cannot go. The blissful land of Dharma Setra, the infinite
Campaign
abode
mix, Thriller campaign. Let's
of the
go.
soul.
Let's go.
I'm from a galaxy far, far away, but I'm going home. Wish I could stay. See you later, Earth. I'm from a galaxy far, far away, but I'm going home. Wish I could stay. See you later, Earth. Samadhi, Samadhi, Satnam, Samadhi. I'm from a time and place.
Yeah. I gotta say something real quick. We go live on YouTube. You know, we got a little situation last week. Shout out to the women's panel. Last week, you know, we was doing some things. We had a little situation. So with the music, we getting that right. You know what I mean? So we can keep the show right. But we getting ready to go live on YouTube right now. Our guest, Lee Cummings, will be with us soon. Vibe with us. You know what I mean? The campaign makes we are going to be going live. You know, fix out some glitches. Tap in with us. We're going live in a few minutes on YouTube as well. For the podcast part of this big show podcast we do. Through the campaign, BSB, what it is?
I'm from a time and place where there's no time or space. Far beyond the heavens, way beyond the realms of outer space, where birds cannot fly and planes cannot go.
Tap in, man. You know what it is.
The infinite abode.
Hit that like button
of the soul.
Subscribe, share. Come on.
From a galaxy far, far away, but I'm going home. Wish I could stay. See you later, Earth. I'm from a galaxy far, far away, but I'm going home. Wish I could stay. See you later, Earth. Samadhi, Samadhi, Satnam, Samadhi, 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 Satnam, Samadhi, 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 Satnam Samadhi, 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 Satnam Samadhi, stay free. Transcending this world of limited sight, reuniting my masculine and feminine sides. As I follow my breath, my energies rise until I reach that sight of infinite light. Katushta Chaitanya, consider it Christ. My home is bliss and infinite light. I'm from a galaxy far, far away, but I'm going home. Wish I could stay. See you later, Earth. I'm from a galaxy far, far away, but I'm going home. Wish I could stay. See you later, Earth. Samadhi, Samadhi, Satnam Samadhi, 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 Satnam Samadhi, Samadhi, Samadhi. I gotta be thankful because I know someone lost their life today. Samadhi, so every moment I endeavor to live life the righteous way. Satnam Samadhi, to serve with a sense of purpose and let love light the way. Even if I die today, that's just the price I pay. Just know I try to be kind and seek the divine every night and day. Gratitude for the sunrise, gratitude for the sunshine, gratitude for the moonlight. Every day feels like a new life, especially when I meditate. Take a breath and then I elevate. Everything deserves gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. I gotta be thankful because I know someone lost their life today. And so every moment I endeavor to live life the righteous way, to serve with a sense of purpose and let love light the way. Even if I die today, that's just the price I pay. Just know I try to be kind and seek the divine every night and day. Gratitude for the sunrise, gratitude for the sunshine, gratitude for the moonlight. Every day feels like a new life, especially when I meditate. Take a breath and then I elevate. Everything deserves gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. Gratitude is the fruit of life, the nourishment of the soul when there's no food in sight. When your vibrations are low and you feel blue inside, gratitude is the attitude that gets you through the night. Never believe in lack of limitations. Anything can be manifested with a little appreciation. I appreciate my life. I appreciate my breath. I appreciate my sight. Gratitude for my health. Gratitude is the happiest move. Even if I happen to lose, everything deserves gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. Gratitude. That's my everyday attitude. Gratitude. With a heart full of gratitude and a mind full of peace. That's how you should live. That's how you should be. With a heart full of gratitude and a mind full of peace. That's how you should love. That's how you stay free. Yeah, 2020 AD. I just wanna make love. I just wanna make peace. I just wanna stay free. 2020 AD. I just wanna make love. I just wanna make peace. I just wanna stay free. Gratitude. That's my everyday Attitude, gratitude, gratitude. That's my everyday. Attitude, gratitude.
Pray for little Sam. I ain't gave a fuck since they to little Sam.
Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze, let's go.
Pray for little Sam, pray for little Sam. I ain't gave a fuck since they to little Sam. Big bro got a O, big bro got a O. Chop it up and rock it, what they shopping for. Mama, I think I'm tired of being broke. We ain't got no money, now they daddy gone. Cut it to revolver sagging in my drawers. I ain't been the choir, I've been with the mob. Pray for little Sam, pray for little Sam. I ain't gave a fuck since they to little Sam. Big bro got a O, big bro got a O. Chop it up and rock it, what they shopping for. Mama, I think I'm tired of being broke. We ain't got no money, now they daddy gone. Cut it to revolver sagging in my drawers. I ain't been the choir, I've been with the most. I ain't been sleeping, I'm hanging out my window. Got what niggas want right next to my pillow. They say the feds watching these taking pictures, but I ain't going nowhere, I'm here with my niggas. Pray for little Neil, pray for little Neil. Don't pray for the ops, they taking my people. I sat on the porch doing the drive-by. I ain't move at all, bitch, I'm not high. Confessions of a killer. They say I'm destined to be a gorilla. Premeditate and deliver the packages we send them. Pray for Philly G, pray for Philly G. Fuck around, I got nothing left up in these streets. Look up in my iris, look up in my iris. Nigga, I could give a fuck about a coronavirus. Open up the jail, my niggas inside it. Couldn't pay for their lawyers with federal indictments. Open up the pen, time to feed the lions. I'm a predator, when I pray it's violence.
Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze, let's go.
Bang, 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 bang.
Motherfucker gon' quarantine me in my daddy house. I've been running things since 15, just been getting old. I've been living sober on my drink. I'ma need my witch to witness all my niggas grow the kings. Now how sick motherfucker gon' quarantine me in my daddy house. I've been running things since 15, just been getting old. I've been living sober on my drink. I'ma need my witch to witness this shit. I'm on a maze these days. Hated the unfold, impatient and unfazed. When I gaze at the gun smoking, sun smoldering hot, not a drop of sweat. Got on him foresight. Got a Fortnite sniper, shot smoking, pop me a William. Kill him in style. They plotting, he still looking down. Got the villainous smile. Tupac a frown at you niggas right now. Supposed to be the votes for the hopeless. How y'all getting exposed when the sinners blow? I'm the thinnest toes, though tougher than times. Be black, turn my line, I'm aligned and I'm buffering 5G, puffing lime green. As I rise, the key lime squeeze at the clouds beyond steez. When I rhyme, it's divine speech. But I'm Quan Chi, whole time, shit is not me. All these souls on my shoulders is mine and it's 5D. I polish my knowledge for conquering all three. I duck the locks to acknowledge the God that resides inside. Sick motherfucker gon' quarantine me in my daddy house. I've been running things since 15, just been getting old. I've been living sober on my drink. I'ma need my witch to witness all my niggas grow the king. Now how sick motherfucker gon' quarantine me in my
One more time for the top. That's voice of one Tino. Shout out to the nation. What up? One time for the autonomous party. I see you. What's going on, man? The entire family, you know what I mean? The entire nation. Yes, sir. Super Blaze inside the campaign mix. Let's go.
I sick motherfucker gon' quarantine me in my daddy house. I've been running things since 15, just been getting old. I've been living sober on my drink. I'ma need my wish to witness all my niggas grow the king. Now I sick motherfucker gon' quarantine me in my daddy house. I've been running things since 15, just been getting old. I've been living sober on my drink. I'ma need my wish to witness this shit. I'm on a maze these days, the way that it's unfolding, patient and unfazed. When I gaze at the gun smoking, sun smoldering hot, not a drop of sweat got on him foresight. Got a Fortnite sniper, but shot Skokie and pop for your William. Kill him in style. They plotting, he still looking down. Got the villainous smile. Tupac a frown at you niggas right now. We supposed to be the vocals for the hopeless. How y'all getting exposed when the tennis blow? I'm the tennis toes, no tougher than times. Be black, turn my line, I'm aligned and I'm buffering 5G, puffing lime green. As I rise, the key lime squeeze, the clouds are beyond steez. When I rhyme, it's beyond steez. But I'm Quan G whole time, shit is not me. All these souls on my shoulders, it's mine and it's 5D. Polish my knowledge, conquering all three. Died up the locks to acknowledge the God resides inside. A sick motherfucker gon' quarantine me in my daddy house. I've been running things since 15, just been getting old. I've been living sober on my drink. I'ma need my wish to witness all my niggas grow the king. Now I sick motherfucker gon' quarantine me in my daddy house. I've been running things since 15, just been getting old. I've been living sober on my drink. I'ma need my wish to witness this shit.
See, I think there are two ways in which people are controlled. First of all, frighten people, and secondly, demoralize them. An educated, healthy, and confident nation is harder to govern. And I think there's an element in the thinking of some people. We don't want people to be educated, healthy, and confident because they will get out of control.
No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't crossed your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business. Nigga. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't crossed your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business. Nigga. Bang, bang, bang. Now come and take a look at my perspective. School of hard knocks, struggling was my elective. Shit was reckless, so I had to always cock the heckler. Put under pressure, so that's why the shells would get projected. My mind protected, I stay focused, boy, if you ain't noticed. When it come to my thoughts, I'm an S63, you just a Lotus. Your brain small and compacted, that's why you contracted to a big-ass record label where the pay's lacking. But you ain't know that, too late to go back. I'm at the end of Roy G. Biv, where to go at. I paint the picture, you can keep the Kodak. My chariot awaits, I think it's time for me to go back. Back to the realm, building with supreme beings. Trying to build my mind to see what the Almighty seeing. Dark should come to light, so ain't no way that you can play us. I'm turning in my black fez for the erase. Nigga. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't crossed your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't crossed your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business.
They try so hard to keep me blind, but thank God I can see the light. Wanna keep me in the dark, but now you can see me shining bright.
Now come and take a look through my dimension. A young God, I just came down from my ascension. Protect the 12 tribes, guessing I just lost prevention. The type of things I'm seeing, guessing that I shouldn't mention. If I don't talk, then I'll be leaving you up in the dark. Haters shaking up, they saying that they use the heart. I'm thinking, what's the motive, killing parts of mankind? The type of shit that make me blow up like a landmine, so I collect my thoughts and
yeah, you listening to Super Blaze, let's go.
No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't crossed your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business. Nigga. No wonder why you don't get this. No wonder why you don't get this. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't crossed your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business. Nigga. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't crossed your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business. Nigga. Bang, bang, bang. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't crossed your T's and you ain't got your I's. We got some unfinished business. Nigga. Now come and take a look through my perspective. School of hard knocks, and struggling was my elective. Shit was reckless, so I had to always cock the heckler. Put under pressure, so that's why the shells would get projected. My mind protected, I stay focused, boy, if you ain't noticed. When it come to my thoughts, I'm an S63, you just a Lotus. Your brain small and compacted, that's why you contracted to a big-ass record label where the pay's lacking. But you ain't know that, too late to go back. I'm at the end of Roy G, Biv, where to go at. I paint the picture, you can keep the Kodak. My chariot awaits, I think it's time for me to go back. Back to the realm, build it with supreme beings. Trying to build my mind to see what the Almighty seeing. Dark should come to light, so ain't no way that you can play us. I'm turning in my black fez for the erase. Nigga, no wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your eyes. We got some unfinished business. No wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your eyes. We got some unfinished business.
They try so hard to keep me blind, but thank God I can see the light. Wanna keep me in the dark, but now you can see me shining bright.
Now come and take a look through my dimension. A young God, I just came down from my ascension. Protect the 12 tribes, guessing I just lost prevention. The type of things I'm seeing, guessing that I shouldn't mention. If I don't talk, then I be leaving you up in the dark. Haters shaking up, they saying that they use the heart. I'm thinking, what's the motive, killing parts of mankind? The type of shit that make me blow up like a landmine. So I collect my thoughts and build it with supreme beings. Trying to build my mind to see what the Almighty seeing. The dark should come to light, so ain't no way that you can play us. I'm turning in my black fez for the erase. No wonder why you don't get this. But you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your eyes. We got some unfinished business. Nigga, no wonder why you don't get this. No, you ain't cross your T's and you ain't got your eyes. We got some unfinished business.
Fire, I'm telling you. Voice of one, Mike Ether. Fire, spitting that ether. You know what I mean? You know what it is, man. Super Blaze inside the campaign mix each and every Sunday. Right here on the Autonomous Party podcast. Make sure. Just keep it locked right here, man. We got one more before we tap in. All right, go.
Still unamalgamated.
Heartbeat, the sound of the bass drum. Come with your best shot, I'll take one. Rumble in the jungle, I'm a lion. Stand up for your Masi nation. Hey, for these generations, we the people lost but not forgotten. Tribal rivalry is the problem. One love, the key for what we locked in. Don't call me a doctor, but I will be your medicine man. We're all from the melting pot, so everybody in the crowd is a Native American. Like me, what can't you see? The enemy is a L-I-E. One family tree we are. The truth is like smoking Joe and so far. Fire!
Unamalgamated.
Heartbeat, the sound.
Tell the truth, bro. Tell the truth. Let them know.
Take one. Rumble in the jungle, I'm a lion. Stand up for your Masi nation.
Listen to the words, just don't feel the beat. Feel the beat, but listen to the words also. You know what I mean?
Tribal rivalry is the problem. One love, the key for what we locked in. Don't call me a doctor, but I will be your medicine man. We're all from the melting pot, so everybody in the crowd is a Native American. Like me, what can't you see? The enemy is a L-I-E. One family tree we are. The truth is like smoking Joe and so far. The bigger they come, Heartbeat, the sound of the bass drum. Come with your best shot, I'll take one. Rumble in the jungle, I'm a lion. Stand up for your Masi nation.
Walk out and say, listen.
We the people lost but not forgotten. Tribal rivalry.
Listen carefully, man, for real. Listen to the words. Please, please, please.
Don't call me a doctor, but I will be your medicine man. We're all from the melting pot, so everybody in the crowd is a Native American. Like me, what can't you see? The enemy is a L-I-E. One family tree we are. The truth is like smoking Joe and so far. The bigger they come, the harder they fall. Bring on the giant, I'm ready to brawl. No giving up, flowing in my veins. Like a champion, I feel that I will never surrender. Born with the soul of a warrior, I will remain a contender. Born with the soul of a warrior, I will. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey, 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 hey y'all, hey y'all, hey Egyptian fits my description. Yes. I'm training hard for the mission. Yes. I'm a country boy from the south, and mama said knock you out. I'm in the ring like the bigger they come, the harder they fall. Bring on the giant, I'm ready to brawl. No giving up, flowing in my veins. Like a champion, I feel that I will never surrender. Born with the soul of a warrior, I will remain a contender. Born with the soul of a warrior, I will. If you're down for one love and one people, let me hear you say, hey y'all, hey y'all. Somebody wanna yama see me break it down, down. Watch me break it down, down. Watch me break it down. Somebody know that yama see we break them down, down. Yeah, we break them down, down. Yeah, we break them down. The bigger they come, the harder they fall. Bring on the giant, I'm ready to brawl. No giving up, flowing in my veins like a champion.
I'm telling you, man, survive. Shout to the chat room, you know what I mean? On fire right now. I appreciate all the love, you know what I mean? See Christopher, I see you. Sherry, what up? I see you, mama. Love on purpose, you know what it is. I see Raw talking in the building, what up? It's your boy Super Blaze, man. That was my time. Campaign mix, man. Mac, tap in, man. Tap in, tap in.
Bang, bang. Oh, man, listen here, man. Listen here, man. Let me tell you, man. You know, I gotta get my shit prepared. I was vibing this shit. See what I'm saying? I ain't on front. You know what I mean? It's a lot going on. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I appreciate y'all for vibing on this tonight. That campaign mix, man. Listen here. See, you be always distracting me, Blaze, but I need that before I go on to this. You know what I mean? It's like medicine. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody on Miss Cloud, Meets Me Lounge, and obviously YouTube Live is vibing with us tonight for this podcast show. And obviously, you know, they call it Black History Month. They call it, you know, we like I've been trolling a little bit, just tad. The Freedmen Month. I call it American Freedmen Month. I've been using a lot of different terms to go into things, you know, because this is an edutainment platform, so to speak, because we play music and we do interview other things, but we try to go into this information the most because, you know, we is what we is. Shout out to the indigenous Americans out there that look like me. If you see how I look on the screen, I'm part of my complexion. If you got a problem with that, it's all good. But that's not the same as my hat. Shout out to all the people that subscribe to that black shit too, because we're going to be talking about that black 13 colonies in a few minutes. But at the same time, you know, man, let me tell you something. Like, it's been a crazy couple weekends, and next weekend, we're gonna be having Tavis Sanders on some situations that I can't even go into. I can't even do it right now. See, I gotta stop. Let me pause. I'm gonna wait. Shout out to Tavis Sanders, NDU. Shout out to Anthem that just happened. You know what I mean? Because everything you hear that, we're going to be using that. You'll be hearing that on our podcast a lot. And in rotation, you know what I'm saying? Because this is indigenous movement, Aboriginal Wall Street type shit. So we play music on our street the way we play it on our street. You come on our block, that's how we play it. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. This is our block of time. You know what I mean? Shout out to Meets Me Lounge. I need you to play one more song, though. And then when we come back, we're going to go in. Our guest is Lee Cummings tonight. We're talking about the Black 13 colonies. Because, you know, I'll be chilling. You know what I mean? I know. But this is, we make sure you the book. Make sure you see the book. See the book. Yeah, we going in. I got the book. So you can't say, I don't know what we got to talk about. Feel me? We go in. Shout out to Rhonda Johnson and on the women panel, Yashika. Shout out to Tamika. Shout out to Lila. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my sister last week that pulled up on us. And we had a great conversation. YouTube, I ain't gonna say YouTube. I don't want to hate on us now. We live on this shit, right? No, but No, real talk. At the same time, though, we had a music situation that didn't get out live like we wanted it to be. But at the same time, on the real talk, we're gonna do this thing a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So again, we're gonna come right back. We're gonna go right into the situation. You know what I'm saying? Vibe with us through the campaign. Aboriginal Yamakari, what up? Thomas Party, what up?
I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. School of thought. I was building mounds, all I did was dig. Now I'm building pyramids. Mama, look at what I did. Cut off the leash, took off the hook. The world brainwashed off of just one book. Same book, told my mama turn the other cheek. Don't bring me no beat, cause that shit get cooked. Did my research, found out my worth. Shit, I own everything on earth. That's why the Elohim with the young God like me to cast all cougar rocks, putting niggas in the dirt. Master ceremony, listen what the God say. Manifest life off of what I say. Bear time D, I hate why I hate. Pull up the liquor, then I say I shake. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids. School of thought. Follow God. Fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid.
Pull up, pull up, pull up. What?
I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. School of thought. I was building mounds, all I did was dig. Now I'm building pyramids. Mama, look at what I did. Cut off the leash, took off the hook. The world brainwashed off of just one book. Same book, told my mama turn the other cheek. Don't bring me no beat, cause that shit get cooked. Did my research, found out my worth. Shit, I own everything on earth. That's why the Elohim with the young God like me to cast all cougar rocks, pussy niggas in the dirt. Master ceremony, listen what the God say. Manifest life off of what I say. Bear time D, I hate why I hate. Pour up the liquor, then I say I shake. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids, school of thought. Follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid.
Hold on, Blade. That's in-house. People don't even know that's in-house through the campaign. That's on iTunes. Right now, that's on iTunes. We can get away with YouTube can't flag us for that. That's us. That's in-house. Mike Ether. I'm Mac Ether. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's been a minute. That's 10 years in the making. We did that 10 years ago. What do you mean? Ain't it?
Yes,
That's 10 years in the making. We've been doing that shit, man. We've been doing this now. We ain't new. This year might be just finding out. We thank y'all for support. If you like this joint, go on iTunes right now. Type in Thriller Campaign on iTunes. You're going to pull up and you're going to see. You can, well, shit. I ain't gonna go into that because there's another thing getting ready to happen. But yo, pull that up, play that a little bit more. We gonna go right. I'm ready. I just want to make sure you, because mounds turn to pyramids. You did. Shout out to all the mound builders out there. What are you talking about?
I was gonna play it the other way. I was gonna keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
but
no,
you know what?
No. Let them have that.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the rest in the chamber real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we got a lot of stuff.
Go check it out on iTunes for yourself. You know what it is,
for
man.
yourself.
Support.
Through the campaign. That's why we say through the campaign. We through the
Facts.
campaign. What do you mean?
Campaign mixing.
BSB, Barasani.
All
right. Aboriginal Macario, you heard? UCS say something, know what it is, Macario, you heard? We ain't playing no game. Tap in.
I've been building mounds, not a mounds, turned to pyramids, school of thought, follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. I've been building mounds, not a mounds, turned to pyramids, school of thought, follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. School of thought, I was building mounds, all I did was dig. I'm building pyramids, mama, look at what I did. Cut off the leash, took off the hook. The world brainwashed off of just one book. Same book, told my mama turn her other cheek. Don't bring me no beat, cause that shit get cooked. Did my research, found out my worth. Shit, I own everything on earth. That's why the Elohim with the young God like me to cast off Fugarazza, pussy knockers in the dirt. Master ceremony, listen what the God say. Manifest life off of what I say. Bears time D, I hate why I hate. Pour up the liquor, then I say I shake. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids, school of thought, follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid. I've been building mounds, not a mouse. Turn to pyramids, school of thought, follow God, fuck what your religion is. Y'all niggas look small from the view of my pyramid. Hey, look at that from my pyramid.
Let's vibe. I had to have a little fun. Pull me up. Oh, Mike Ether, man. If people knew when we created that music, man, listen here. That was a time in our life. Yeah, we getting ready to pull up though. Lee Cummings is in the building. 13 Colonies. If you ain't got the book, this man's done a series. And this series he's done has been crazy. I don't know if everybody's been paying attention. He's done a series. And in this series, you got to go do your research if you really want to dig. You feel me? You want to dig in. You know what I mean? Because, hey, we're not biased over here on history. Because history, especially when somebody look like me going to break it down like he going to break it down. Shout out to my man, Lee Cummings. You know what I'm saying? Because this man's been very genuine in our conversation. So that's why, it's been a good conversation. I mean, real with you. Because when you know the genealogy of certain things, you can see how he knows his genealogy of certain things. And then we go into certain things that he's breaking down. And then the fact that he got this dictionary. We ain't going to go into that tonight. We're going to bring him back for another time for that one right there. But tonight, though, we told you last week when we had the women's panel, you know what I'm saying, that we were going to be dealing with this week, this right here. I'm going to flag it. You see me? I'm flagging on the screen. If you on live on YouTube, try to Music Media Lounge, Mixcloud. If you vibe and you watch what we're doing, we're on 3 platforms. This is what it is. Lee Cummings, Part 6. The Negro Question, Part 6. The 13 Black Colonies by Lee Cummings. I'm going to pull the man up right now. Lee Cummings, what's up? I'm going to pull him up right now.
What's good, man?
My man. What's going on with you?
Man, it's good. How's everybody?
I hope everybody good that's out there in the chat, because we're going to have a great conversation tonight. They better be ready.
Man, good to see you, bro.
Oh, good to see you too, man. And shout out to you, man.
I told you I was going to take care of you, right?
Oh, man, you took care of me, man.
I told you,
talk
man.
No shit.
Hey, and I already contacted. Hey, I'm gonna have that package to you in another 4 or 5 days, just like that.
I ain't sweating it. We good. It's good money. You're in good business. You know what I mean? I'm letting everybody know live right now tonight that me and you have set up a situation where we're gonna be doing a program to help people understand this information on how to level. Because you got your book. I know we're talking about the 13 Black Colonies tonight. But before we go into it, what I got, the package that is coming to me is the dictionary
You know what I'm saying? And the dictionary, yeah, show them the dictionary, Lee, please. I mean, the dictionary is dealing with that you just put out, and you got a class with it and everything. So we're gonna go all the way in on all that too. But I know the topic of the night, so I don't want to get too far off course.
Hey
You know
man,
what I'm saying?
hey,
Behind
I'm
the scenes,
with
you done showed me some stuff. You feel me? Showed me some stuff. You know what I mean? I'm paying attention.
Hey, listen, man. Listen.
Let's go.
13 Black Colonies is unique because, the thing about the 13 Black Colonies is it proves, A, that the indigenous people were black. There were 3 testimonies from the 13 Black Colonies. Well, actually, the 13 Black Colonies and Part 7, the Swarthy Memoirs. William Penn describes the indigenous Indians as being black or Swarthy.
Facts. Yes, sir.
Benjamin Franklin said all of America was Swarthy. So now Benjamin Franklin is a white American #1.
Yes. Facts.
And if you go back and read that his essay on the population of mankind, 1751 digital. It's a digital piece from the Library of Congress. So they can't say that it's something fictional that the Negroes or the blacks or the Moors made up. This came out of his mouth personally, that all of America was Swarthy. He said that.
He said that. That is documented. That's a fact.
That's documented history, man. That's at the Library of Congress. They can't get around
Library of Congress. They can't get around it.
And that's 1751.
1751. That's a fact what he just said, y'all. I want somebody to actually come back and say that you're wrong about what you're putting out. Because really, with the documentation that you stated in the manifest of these surnames that you've been able to show that today people have that do the genealogy. The genealogy has been a very big thing we do over here at the Autonomous Party, right? And we're finding what you're showing us in the genealogy. That's why I can't front on it. Like, all right, so these books, these surnames that match, and a lot of people buy into the whole African slave trade, the narrative that we know the Anglo-Saxon gave it to us. Since you said 1751.
Oh, wait, but that's alleged. That's allegedly.
Allegedly, connotatively. Go ahead.
Listen, that's what the Gentiles put out there. They said, well, 90% or 94% of the names that the African Americans have, the last name came from the slave masters. But you got to watch them. So you go back and look at the 94% of the last names that allegedly came from the slave masters, and guess what they are? They are either Scottish or Irish. What do we know? We know that the Scots were not involved in the slave trade, nor were the Irish. So
wait. Lee Cummings, wait now.
Yeah, all our last names in America either Scottish or Irish. Scottish, Irish, Welsh, all the Negroes in America.
Britain, Bass.
Yeah. Haven't you met a woman named Britain or a brother named Scott? His last name was Scott.
Yeah, I have.
In fact,
that's why
let's pull this map up for the crew.
All right, what up? Send it to me. We got you.
Can you take over? Can you share my page?
Anything that you sent to me, got a green got you for the night. Anything you send across the screen.
Listen, man.
We got source up.
Most of the last names in America that the blacks possess are the last names of noblemen, the previous noblemen of the British Isles and the United Kingdom, Britain, Scotland, Welsh, and Ireland, and German last names. But these last names that we possess, none of them are what? We don't possess French last names, Spanish last names, Portuguese last names. Why? Those were the slave masters. So they lied to us.
Facts. Now, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because, see, a lot of people in history will deal with the fact that we got the French and the Spanish that came here before the 13 colonies. So before I even go into the book, that's why I'm glad you said what you said tonight. How do you feel about, since you brought up the Portuguese, Spanish, I mentioned the French, because I know the French were here before the 13 colonies. We have a chronological chart to pull up for that conversation if it's need be. But at the same time, how we look at that whole situation is, how do you compare the 13 colonies today compared to those other groups off your books?
Listen, what color were the French in 1751? They were black.
Yes.
Now, Benjamin Franklin, again, we always have to go back to white brother number one, Benjamin Franklin, because all their scholars, all of their rhetoric and what they teach is predicated on what comes out of the mouth of Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, these kind of guys. Benjamin Franklin stated in 1751 that the French were swarthy, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the Germans, the Dutch, the Swedes, all of America, and I'm in Italy. Now, Benjamin Franklin said this in 1751. Now, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
If the French and the Spanish and the Portuguese were black in 1751, the question is to the audience, then what color was the slave masters in the South? Think about it.
Think about it. Yeah.
Think about it, because the slave masters were what? They were black. I know this is kind of shocking for the audience, but think about it. If the French and the Spanish and the Portuguese were swarthy or black in 1751, then that means, and see, when you look at the timeline, King George did not. I think it was the Paris Peace Treaty of 1763, when he relinquishes his rights to the colonies. He relinquishes his rights to the Eastern Seaboard, but he does not relinquish his rights to the Southern states because he did not own the Southern states. Go back and read. But in 1803, the Brits purchased the slave states with the Louisiana Purchase, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, states like that. But if you go back and look at the condition, at what was taking place at that time, you got to go back and look at the Pope. The Pope, I think, was in 14. Don't quote me on this, because it's late where I'm at. I'd normally be asleep. But the Pope issues the Dum Diversa. I think it was in 1452. My date might be off. He issues the Dum Diversa, which states that any people or nation that is not Catholic, you can confiscate their goods and enslave them for life. So slavery it had nothing to do with race. It was based on religion. You guys still with me?
I'm listening. I'm here with you.
That's deep, baby. So every once in a while, the Gentile historian or the white historian says, "Oh, they were black slave masters." That was not the anomaly. That was the norm. And some of you all are hearing this for the first time. And I said this, and you can quote me on this. And I would deal with this with any of the scholars that are listening. The original slave masters were black Frenchmen, black Spaniards, black Portuguese. And it was the Vatican had flipped these nations. These nations used to be Protestant nations. See, this is where King James come into the picture. See, King James was was a Hebrew Israelite. He was a Jacobite. And King James, the Vatican, they tried to kill him, was called the Gunpowder Plot. They tried to blow him up. And so King Charles, his son, who was swarthy, issued a decree that they declared, they put a hit out on the Pope. It's in the introduction. I'm going to repeat myself.
In the introduction, pull it
It's in the introduction of the original 1611 King James Bible, where King James and his sons, King Charles I and Charles II, put a hit out on the Pope and his Archbishop.
Hold on
Quote
a second.
me on that.
Hold on a second. No, we're going to do better. Because, see, we got the link. We're going to pull it up. We got time tonight. We got time tonight.
King James Version, huh?
I said, hey, listen, I got time tonight, Lee. We got time. Let's go in. Because, see, all these sources you gave out, their sources back up what you were saying. So I'm going to make sure people know that you're not just saying something that you're just saying.
Man,
you know what I mean? Like, there's a link behind it.
I know the people out there probably saying, this is insane. This is
it's insane.
No, it's not.
Right, it's insane. No,
if you go back, if you walk a perfect timeline and you stay away from the government-sponsored school system and deal primarily with the eyewitness account. What does that mean? The guy that had the boots on in that generation. Why you dealing with a historian in 2022 when you can go backwards in time and look through the eyes of the individual who had boots on, who was right there?
Right.
And Benjamin Franklin happened to be that guy. Pull up his essay, 1751, out of his own mouth. He says the French, the Spanish, the Germans, the Italians, the Swedes, and all of America and Asia was swarthy. And then if you go back and look at I think it's the Johnson Dictionary of 1751, 1753, swarthy means black. And so when you put two and two together and you go backwards in time, the slave masters in the South, how come you think Napoleon owned Mississippi? He owned Arkansas. He owned Louisiana. Those were all slave states. And those slave states were owned by black men. I could prove this. The proof is inside the Negro Question Part 6. Part 6 also has a ship's manifest that gives an eyewitness description of the sons of King James as being swarthy.
Right.
So it's not some guy is popping off in another city trying to make himself say, no, these are the facts. The fiction is in the government-sponsored school system. That is fiction.
So, when you since you brought up all that right there, see, for everybody that doesn't know, like I said, I have the physical book. We just showed you what he said about the introduction.
Yeah,
in the introduction.
Hey, before you go any further.
Yeah, go ahead.
Think about this, bro. Every Bible in the United States, all you black folks is under the sound of my voice right now. Go look at your Bible, your introduction. It's missing.
It's missing. It is missing.
Your preacher,
pull it back up.
Hey, the big name preacher, the black ministers, T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, they don't even know that the intro is missing from their Bible.
The same thing I just showed, right?
Try it out.
I'm gonna have God put it back up one more time because I want to go into something on his introduction.
That's it right there. That intro.
This is it, right?
Let me see. Let me tell you to see what page it's on, what paragraph, so you can read
this. Right, like we can read it out. I want people to hear this information. I mean, again, 1611 King James Bible introduction. It is missing. And when you told me this,
hey, go to your grandma's house. You're the one that
told me this. I gotta give you credit. You gave me this information. Where'd it go?
Go to
tell me where to go.
Your grandmama's house and tell your grandmama. And say all of us got a big mama, and Big Mama loved Jesus. All you gotta do is go to Big Mama's house and say, "Where's your introduction?" It's all gone. It's missing. You know who took that introduction out of your Bible? The Vatican.
Okay, now stop right there. In this, please give me a second, Lee Cummings. You boy, I see how you moving. All right, so now on this 1611 King James Bible introduction, this information has the word Indian on its introduction. That plays a big part, being that we know, being that you just said earlier that the Spanish, the French were slave masters, black slave masters, right? That's what you said earlier.
Hey, bro, that's creepy, ain't it?
It's creepy.
It's real creepy. You know what? Because once you grow into things, first you start out researching yourself the more. And then the Hebrew Israelite starts out researching himself, the Hebrew Israelite. The Baptist does the same thing. The Apostolic Church, they all do the same thing. And then on your way to learning something, guess what happens? If you lucky, the Creator do what? Shine a flashlight in front of your feet.
Right.
This is the truth that the establishment has been hiding from the so-called Negro. So every time Black History Month rolls around, what does he do? He shows them some pictures of some black slaves, but he don't tell them that slave master was not a white man. He was a black Frenchman. That's the reason why right now in the South, go down to Louisiana, they got what? French names. Why? Where did the French go when Napoleon sold the landmass? They didn't go back to France. They stayed there. Where did the Spaniard go? He stayed in the South.
Facts. They ain't go back.
They didn't leave. Why would they leave?
They ain't leave. They did not leave.
They own land and they own Negro. So why would you leave?
And you said they own Negroes. See, I've read some articles outside of what you have put in your books, dealing with some Jesuit people. Since you said that the blacks, Portuguese, they were slave owners of indigenous people over here in Americas. You know what I'm saying? Like, they knew that they were different from the people that they were enslaving or bringing, or what you call amity, if these indigenous people would come underneath the Roman Catholic Church religion or Christianity. So when it comes to your book again, this 13 colonies thing goes into a different concept because of the fact that you have stated that the actual 13 colonies is Scottish.
Dude, you know how I arrived at that simple solution?
Go ahead. I'm listening. I want you to get the people that information.
Once I realized, first, no one ever told us that King James was a Scot. We had to figure that out on our own. They kept saying King James, the first of England. No, he wasn't. He was King James the Sixth of Scotland, and then he unified England with Britain, Wales, and Scotland, and then he became King James the First of England. But before the unification, this dude was King James the Sixth of Scotland because he was a Scot.
He was a Scot. Now, I want you to do me this favor real quick. Tie this in. Because you have a series and you have the dictionary and you deal with Aramaic and you deal with Hebrew. See, as an Aboriginal American, I say on this, I study history. I love heritage. I love the culture and the diversity of our people. No matter if I stay on a political level, I'm going with the root that ties me to my land that I'm born in, bloodline-wise, and also where I was born at. But still, what also came in with it, you are proving something of an inheritance tie of the fact that we know there was black people that was enslaving people, and then you had black people. This is layman. I'm talking layman.
But slavery at that time in the Middle Ages was not based on skin color. It was based on religion.
Thank you. That's why I said that. That's why I'm saying that in the first place, because a lot of people don't understand.
They don't understand. Remember, what did Whoopi Goldberg say the other day that pissed the establishment off? She said the Holocaust was not based on race. It was because it was based on economics.
Say it again.
It was based on economics. It wasn't based on race. It was based on economics. The Germans felt like the white Jews had put a stranglehold on the economics of the country. It was based on economics. We hate what, God, we sympathize with what happened to those people. But people, you have to understand that everything is not about race. A lot of it is simply religion and economics. Right now in India, Christians are being murdered. Muslims are being murdered. Christians are murdering Muslims, and Muslims are murdering Christians. Some of this stuff is it's religion. It's the fanaticism of the human race.
You said the French were slave holders. They were black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. I came across something, Mr. Lee Cummings. I taught you how I taught you. Don't mind me. You're elder than me, but I'm still going. You know how I am. Don't get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. But at the same time, though, this Lee Cummings situation. You know what I'm saying? We got to get into these French you just talked about real quick. These French. So who are these French in your mind? Can I ask you that real quick?
Do you have the essay on by Benjamin Franklin, 1751? Google real quick.
Pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up. It's called
we can pull it up.
Benjamin Franklin's essay, 1751. I think the title of it is has something to do with population. Hold on. And so you can read it to the people so that they will come away understanding that this is not a joke.
Nah, it's not a joke. We know we vibe on late night Sunday, but
it's called Benjamin Franklin's essay 1751, Observations Concerning the Increase of Mankind. Benjamin Franklin's essay 1751, Observations Concerning the Increase of Mankind. It's toward the bottom of the essay.
So once you click
on it, they're going to let you know that it's a copyrighted piece, a digital copyright at the Library of Congress. So if you go down to point number, did you pull it up?
I got you.
Okay.
Right now.
Go down to point number 24.
Give me 1 second. We're going to pull it up.
Yeah, once you pull it up and click on it, go to point 24. It's going to say, which leads me to add one remark. This is Benjamin Franklin talking, man. All this is in the Negro
24,
question.
24, right? 24.
Yeah,
24.
Point number 24.
Can you zoom in a little bit, God?
Y'all read that to the people. They're going to love you for it.
Come down a little bit. Come down. All right. Well, it says, which leads me to add one remark, that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small.
Now, who's talking? You quoting who? You quoting Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
And the reason he says that is because at this point in time, the whites had been confined. They had been restricted to Central Asia. And then there was another group that had come up out of North Germany by the southern shores of the Baltic Sea. These were what they call Germanic tribes. They weren't German, but they were Gentile or white tribes that was living in Germany.
Moravians, I like to call some of them.
Go ahead.
I got you though. No.
Go ahead.
I did go in on Moravians in Germany and how they had a movement.
Yeah.
And they had a particular movement. So
the people that's ruling over you, he calls himself an Anglo-Saxon. He's not German, but he's one of the Germanic tribes, the blue-eyed white guy with the red hair, the blonde hair. But we'll get into that later. Pick it back up where it says all Africa.
All right. So all Africa is black or tawny. Asia chiefly tawny. Now I want you to do this. I want you to do this for me tonight. Tawny. Yes, sir.
The Hebrew word tawny means tan, or brown skinned.
Brown skinned.
Go ahead.
All right. So Asia chiefly tawny. What's that mean?
So it was all Asia was brown-skinned folks before the whites went in. Tawny means 10.
All right. So it says America exclusive of the new commerce. Holy soul.
What does that mean? That simply means that the whites had just come into the colonies right around 1750. So he's saying America, what? Holy soul. All of America was what? Was black, the Moors and the indigenous people.
Stop. Please, sir.
This is a critical document.
Yes, it's a critical document. That's why I'm going to take my time with this. And you said Moors. And I'm going to tell you something, Lee Cummings. These group of people called Moors, and because I would tell people that do subscribe to saying they're Moors, to get your dictionary dealing with the Aramaic alphabet, because they're stopping at Islam. But really, when we look at the Martu, right, the Amorite, the Amaru, you have this documented in your dictionary, Lee Cummings. I'm gonna let you know that. I'm gonna say it live. I'm gonna tell you what, and it's going back to the Aramaic alphabet, Phoenician, and all the stuff you broke down. You're on some shit. Now I ain't knocking nothing you say. I'm gonna tell you, I don't act like I'm just listening to you, and I'm not that kind of person. So I'm gonna be real with you, because at the end of the day, I respect you for what you're doing, man, bro, and that's why I appreciate this.
I'm not a religious fanatic. I love the Creator.
Some people would say no. Some people would say that you are. And I'm glad you said that, because you're not. You're not.
I'm not. I'm just a regular. I'm Joe Ordinary. I'm just like everybody else.
You know what, Lee Cummings? In your situation, when I read your dictionary, even though I got the package coming with the physical books, we're gonna auction one of your books off. By the way, somebody go get this book free for what me and you about to do. You know that already. So you already know exactly. So we're gonna do this live because we're gonna keep the information real. We can buy the sources, and you are bringing sources to the table. And I think that people don't really read the way you've read. Obviously, transliterated because you have a dictionary now. That is deep. I've gone through the book, Lee. This man, listen, you got me. I'm trying to stay on 13 Black Colonies, but your dictionary has perplexed me.
Bro, it's nothing like it. It's not. I used to, when I first wrote, I said it's nothing like it on the market. Then the Lord showed me it's nothing like this dictionary in the world.
Listen here.
Yale University doesn't possess a book like this, nor does Princeton, nor the Ivy League, Big Ten. I don't care what institution you go to, man. Once you get this book in your hand, you got to guard it with your life. They'll try to steal it from you.
Listen here. Is that why my post? Is that why my shit didn't come in?
They might have been. They might have took it.
Lord.
I'm going down there tomorrow. But hey, wait a minute. Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. Let's go where it says "and in Europe."
All right, where we at? It said "and in Europe." The Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, Swedes are generally of what we call a swarthy complexion.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
I'm gonna stop. Go ahead.
Now, see, that's why when I teach, I always tell my guys timelines are critical. This is 1751.
Yeah.
Which means what? The Emancipation Proclamation has not been issued yet.
Not.
That's almost another 100 years in the future. And these nations were what? They were still black, according to who? Benjamin Franklin. I could also show you a document that was written by Thomas Jefferson when he was the ambassador to France. He gives a detailed description of the basilica, the overrunning of the basilica when they killed King Louis. They cut his head off. He said, I'll quote, "I saw 60,000 Frenchmen of all sizes and colors." So Benjamin Franklin is not my only eyewitness. I could use Thomas Jefferson.
Right.
And so this is 1751. Then what color are the slave masters? According to Benjamin Franklin, the Frenchman, the Spaniard was what? They was black. This is creepy, ain't it, man?
No, it's creepy.
It's
I want to
real
keep.
creepy. If
I
you
want to get through
listening
this
to this,
paragraph. I want to
if
get through
you
this
listening
paragraph.
to us talk right now, and you came on here thinking this was gonna be just some other
pseudo,
kind of, just another cat on the lap. No, this is surreal.
Surreal. This is documented through Library of Congress, founding fathers who were coming in, especially if we're dealing with Benjamin Franklin in 1751. You know, it's funny because I know particularly about Benjamin Franklin. That's how I know you're telling the very truth, Mr. Lee Cummings. Let me tell you why I know that. Because before there was a Benjamin Franklin in the position of Philadelphia, to be in the position that he held, to even make a statement that he made, there's a person named William Penn.
Yeah.
And William Penn is the one that did the treaty with Tammany in Philadelphia, the Lenape, Turtle Clan, underneath an Elms tree, with treaties and everything going into it and all. We really like we can go in. Like on my side, you already know. I know you mess with me for a reason. I don't play around about the information about this thing. These people, William Penn, individual, particularly, and Tammany, Saint Tammany, or Chief Tammany of the Turtle Clan of the Lenape are the ones that are dealing with the actual treaty that is the Iroquois and what they call today the American colony. William Penn is the representative of that American colony in Philadelphia.
William Penn gives an eyewitness description of the American Indian. He said
exactly.
that William Penn said that the American Indian was black because he used bear grease. He said stop. Bear grease, he was swarthy.
No, stop. Let him ride. Okay, go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then he goes on to say that the Indian was just as black as the gypsy in Europe or in England.
He said that.
He said that, man. That's in the Swarthy Memoirs, part 7. So I'm trying to tell you, man. Look, the Lord raised us all of us. Whatever the work you're doing, the work I'm doing, the work Joe Blow is doing, the work these other people we don't know. The Lord raised us up to be lights in all this darkness right now. And the information that you guys possess, the information I possess, guess what? We exchanging information to do what? To be bigger lights for our people. That's what we are. That's what we are.
Let me come back in. Hold on one second. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'm sorry. I went out for a second. I gotta be real. We live. All right, so I gotta reverb. I know you could have to do that. I gotta reverb. Close yours real quick.
Was that you or me?
That's me. That was me on my side. I'm in the studio.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I apologize for that. So, all right. So when we get into this paragraph you have on this page, I want to read through it. I want to make sure people get the whole thing. And because we're dealing with sources. And no matter where we go, we try to deal with sources. That's why I did with you the way I did with you, because you give sources. Like you said, you're not caught up in just the Bible part. You're giving historical references. You know what I'm saying? So it says, I could wish their numbers were increased. And while we are, as I may call it, scourging our planet by clearing America of woods, and so making this side of our globe reflect a brighter light to the eyes of inhabitants of Mars or Venus, why should we, in sight of superior beings, darken its people? Why increase the sons of Africa by planting them in America, where we have so fair an opportunity, by excluding all blacks and Tonys and tawnies of increasing the lovely white and red.
Now, first he called them
Go
swarthy.
ahead.
First he said they were swarthy.
Right. What's up?
And then he
Tell me
said they
that.
were swarthy, and then the other word was tawny. But now he comes down, he make it real plain. The blacks and the what and the brown skinned people. But check this out. Who was he talking about? He said, "Hey man, why we gonna bring these cats here? Why we gonna bring them here? Because we got see Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, they was overthrowing governments. That's what they was on, man. Wherever they went, the government was overthrown. Right here in America, there was a hit out on Franklin and Jefferson. That's historical. If they had a loss, the revolution, they would have got their heads cut off. They go down to France, there's a revolution. They go to Spain, revolution. Wherever Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson showed up, there was a covert revolution. Now, who was these people he's talking about that was coming into the country? Was the black Germans, because Britain hired the black Germans. You go back and read up where it says that the Germans were swarthy or black. The Britons hired the black German army called the Hessians, Hessians. These black Germans came in and occupied the 13 colonies as a police force for up to 8 years.
Word.
We ain't never heard that before.
Nope. Go ahead, keep going.
So when you hear this stuff talking about the red coats are coming or the blue coats, whatever the coats was, they had the British hat on. Those were Germans, black Germans.
It's Black History Month, y'all. Listen.
That's why they will not allow real scholars into the classroom.
I got kicked out plenty of times. I know. Go ahead.
They're gonna let
I'm
you
listening.
in the classroom. They're gonna let you in the classroom.
I'm in your classroom right now, Lee. Let's go. Let's ride.
Hey, man, listen, man. The things we talking about today, it's like I said in the middle of the conversation, I'm not a religious fanatic. I love Yahweh. I love God. But I'm not stupid enough to sit down and think that the Bible is the only book that I can read. Yeah, I read the book, the Bible. That's how I live my life. I'm one of the people of the book. But I read in order for you to grow as an individual, you cannot just be confined to one book.
Say it again.
You just can't do it. I don't care what your religion is. I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but I read the Bible every day, but I put my time in the script, then I put my time in Aramaic, then I start looking at genetic information. I look at all kind of stuff. You cannot.
Wait a second. No, wait a second. Your dictionary, outside of your Negro question series, I'm promoting your dictionary because I read through the dictionary this weekend, the ebook. I'm waiting for the physical part. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the maps. I've seen the documentation of the museums linked to everything you put in that book. So I want to know, how is this going to work when it comes to what you're saying about these dark-skinned people who literally were subjected to this situation? Like, how do you break that down in your mind? Because like you said, you're a Hebrew Israelite, and you already in your documentation have also put in your book that there's people who would be described as Aboriginal Americans that they mixed in with.
See, but bro, to respond to the last statement, question posed, the way you posed it, what does this teach us? If Benjamin Franklin is white American man number one, then Donald Trump was correct when he told Warren, the senator, the congresswoman, you don't look like any Indian I've ever seen.
Facts.
Can I preach?
Go ahead, brother.
Because Trump was letting her know, wait a minute, Oklahoma Trail of Tears. Genocide was committed against the black Indian. And when they killed him off, what did the whites do? They went in and took his land. So anybody under the sound of my voice that think that white man on that plantation is the original Indian, you are deluded.
Say again.
If you out there and you think that these white Indians, these white folks on these Indian plantations are the original Indians, you need to check Benjamin Franklin. He said all of America was black.
All right. So when you say black, this is Black History Month, and you got a Negro question series, and you put in your book about these the 13 black colonies, again, because like I said, I want to go through this part first before I ask you the questions I really want to ask you out your book. You see what I'm saying? And I want to make sure that everybody understands that, this is real stuff, but I want to make sure, I'm going to have you, I already told you, I'm going to bring you on the show until people get to understanding what we're talking about. So the fact that we've had our conversation behind the scenes, and I can tell you that I know you're on point. In the actual book, since I can go to the references of the book, page 90, going to 91, you have pictures of the actual Aboriginal American. And you also have pictures of the fact that these people describe them in this way that are considered today European. And you also have said tonight that these original 13 colonies off this book were Scottish.
The original
Scottish,
colonists. The
black.
original colonists were black. Period. And Benjamin Franklin said that himself out of his own mouth. He said, man, we're the smallest of all the people on the earth. He said, man, all of America. He said all of America was what? Swarthy. Weren't the colonists in America?
You have that on your page. I'm gonna give you a reference in this book. So everybody don't think I'm just reading out my mouth. This is not my opinion. This is out his book. See, I got it here. Page 87. Benjamin Franklin continued. You literally, it says what you're saying right now. And you obviously didn't make that out your own mouth. Like you didn't just come up with their opinion of your own mouth. So I know you're talking from a source standpoint. And then like a couple of pages later, it goes into. Pull me up real quick. Let me see if I can get a better picture. Everybody can see this book. This is his book. I want you to know. I'm not. So this picture. You see that picture, Lee?
Yeah. The original Indian chief.
Yeah, original. And
you know something else. Them brothers had fringes on. The black Indians. See, people, hey, you remember back in the day when they had Lone Ranger and Tonto? And what did Tonto have on? He had on fringes.
There's a lot of Hebrew influence.
It just went, it's so subtle. It's so subtle. It's so subliminal. If you don't have eyes to see, you're going to miss it.
Wait a second, Lee. Before we go into that, I need you to, I want you to go into that for a second. I'm going to pause. I want you to break that down for me real quick. Can you go into that for a second? Give me 5-6 minutes of your time and break that down from your understanding.
The original Indians sang a song. And what was the song? Hey ya, ho ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. So the indigenous people, the black Indians, they were singing in Hebrew because his name in Hebrew is what? Is Yah. That's all I got. Real talk. And so what it is, we've been conditioned. And so what they do is they steer us mentally. So we've been steered away from the truth and they steer us to the lies. That's basically what's going on. No, I'm busy. I'm good. Scram, man. Sorry about that, guys. It's the Adams family.
You good.
Huh? So who's out there?
We here. Mac had to step away for a quick second. Just give us 1 second.
Okay. How do you know we wanted water? Oh, that's interesting.
Lee.
Yeah.
I had to drop the mic when you said that. I had to drop the mic and just let that pause for a minute.
Listen, man.
I had to let that pause for a minute. Like I had to let a moment of silence go in and let people digest that before we go into the rest of this book, because that's documented in your book, so you know that there was indigenous Aboriginal people that look like us.
There's an artifact in that book.
With.
There's an artifact in that book where Andrew Jackson is holding the black Indian chiefs, and that was the what do you call it? That was the cartoon imagery in the newspapers in that generation. He's sitting there having a powwow with these Indian chiefs, and they are black in his hand. So the fix is in. The fix is in, and their museums are involved. Their universities, public schools, high schools, everybody's in on the fix, man. Oh,
now you see this picture?
That's King James' father.
You see that?
Yeah, that's his daddy, Henry.
Now, this is his father?
Yeah, that's King James' father.
King Henry Stewart, 1545 to 1567. Father of King James VI of Scotland.
And we got all these artifacts in color, and we got it in a hardcover. It comes in color.
Where did you get this from? Where is documented at?
I think I took that from it's called, I think, the Scottish something. I'm getting sleepy, man.
I ain't gonna hold you too much longer.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time either way. You know what I mean? I want to make sure.
But the reference should be right under the artifact. That's King Henry's dad. That's King James' daddy, man.
So in the references, though, this is father of King James VI, Scotland, artifact location, Westminster Abbey Museum, UK. You've been using a lot of London and UK information, and I think that's interesting.
Let me ask you a question. Because you kind of sharp. Let me ask you a question.
Talk to me.
When the Portuguese and the French and the Spanish left Africa, they left their language behind, right?
Yes, sir.
They left their alphabet and their language, and that was proof that they had been there, right? So when you go down in Europe and you get all these black artifacts, what does that tell you? That reinforces what you've been reading in the 13 Black Colonies. That these people left what? Their black artifacts behind. Why would a white man leave black artifacts behind? In Eastern, see, the West destroyed them all, but Eastern Europe, they got all the artifacts.
You know what?
They still black.
I gotta ask you this, I can't slip. Basque. See, in your dictionary, you talk about the Basque people. I'm giving I'm throwing a little alley-oop now to you now. Lee Cummings. These Basque people that was in the Iberian, Western Europe, that came to the Americas, and I have documentation of that. Right. But you brought them up in your dictionary, and really these people are actually like coming up dealing with the Iroquois and the Algonquin tribes in America early.
But the thing about it is the way the indigenous people were portrayed in the American government-sponsored school system, like they were some savages running around with no government. Well, we know that the U.S. government recognized 7 Indian nations.
I thought it was 6, but yeah.
Yeah, well, they recognized the cats, and then when you go back and look at these guys wrote laws, they wrote policies, they had statutes, judgments, and so you got to understand this white man is trying to portray himself as the bringer of civilization. No, they are the destroyers of civilization. All the way back to the time that they invaded Greece in 1300 BC and Rome in 1200 BC. And every time they invade a nation, all writing stops.
All right, so I'm asking you this though. Now you know we in the book.
Right.
I want some people to know this. So on page 139 in the book, I should say 138. I'm gonna read from your book real quick.
Go ahead.
2 hunter-gatherer skeletons were discovered in the cave in the mountains of northwest Spain in 2006. The cool, dark conditions meant the remains, called Labrana 1 and 2, were remarkable. While preserved, scientists were able to extract DNA from a tooth of one of the ancient men and in sequence his genome. The team found that the early Europeans was most closely genetically related to the people in the Sweden and Finland, but while in the eyes were blue, his genes revealed his hair was black or brown and his skin was dark. This was a result that was unexpected, said Dr. Louisa Fox. These guys are lying. They already knew this. Didn't Professor Boyd Dawkins? This guy Boyd Dawkins, I done read some shit about him.
Hey, Boyd Dawkins. Hey man, dude was like he gave the game away.
Boyd Dawkins is I'm glad you said that. I want to make sure. That's why I stopped there before I keep reading.
Boyd Dawkins gives you the exact year that the whites took over the black kingdoms of Europe. Boyd Dawkins gives you that.
Stop, because I have a link. See, if I had time live with you, me and you, but you might give people mad headaches. You heard me? Headaches.
And the idea is, bro, we through information exchange, we continue to grow. You know, because our people are in a bad way right now.
So I said that I'm gonna keep reading from your book. You document this. So
what page you on?
I'm on page 138 in your book of there are 13 colonies.
Okay.
I'm about to go to the manuscript. I only give me 18 more minutes.
Go ahead.
OG, I need I know you know me, you gotta get your sleep. I ain't trying to keep you up late.
Hey man.
I appreciate this though.
Hey man,
I appreciate this.
I worked today, man. I was like, I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning.
Man, I understand. That's why I appreciate the time. I appreciate the time. I want to get and we go through your shit. Excuse my French. See, I said the French. These people need to understand though this information on Black History Month. You're not sacrificing for a minute, a couple of minutes of your sleep. I'm gonna be real. Now, when it's come to Boyd Dawkins, then it says Benjamin Franklin, Dr. Albert Churchward, Professor Huxley, and Winchell Alexander tell you the same thing. Didn't the ships manifest dated 1715 and 1745 give you the same identical description of these Black Highlanders? Isn't this what the Negro Question Part 4, another one of your books?
Yep.
The missing link said, I have a greater witness than this. Concede. Convict ships is the next page. See your next page. Pull me up. Let me so people can see this. So I'm not on the physical book. We ain't gonna do this right now. Pull me up real quick. You see this? Lee Cummings?
Yeah, I'm on the next page with you.
All right, cool. So anybody got the book? Now, convict ship, the veteran political prisoners continued. And you give my name on this shit, I feel a certain way. I'm the first one. I'm the first one. I feel like I got picked out. I got pulled up like Brown. complexion. Well, I'm talking shit, y'all. I'm not like a surname, but it's my complexion, my surname. Like it says George Samuel, surname Samuel, but it says remarks. His age was 18. It says his remarks were brown.
Hey,
then
so what's the other word for brown? You could just put tawny.
Tawny, part of. Moreno. You have that in your book too. Moreno. Can you go into that Moreno part a little bit?
Well,
because that's a little interesting
Moreno,
for the Moors out there.
Moreno,
right, for the Moors out there.
Moreno, Moor, Morris. It all means the same thing, black.
Oh, black. Now, some people don't.
Or moron. You know, like one time they called the president a moron and everybody got upset. That's code word for nigga or black.
For nigga. Real talk. Now, crazy enough, you already have pulled this out in your books, but for anybody out there, Portuguese is the one that gets the credit for this word Negro and saying that it uses it in a already pejoratively or slur term dealing with somebody that would be considered a slave.
But that's
they use it in that kind of term.
Not accurate. That's not accurate. Because,
go ahead. I want you to go ahead.
The Latin Vulgate was written in 380 AD. The word negrita or nigger is used in the Latin Vulgate to describe the blackness of Solomon.
Pull them up. Hold on.
Wait, you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I want you to be on full screen though. Say that one more time.
If you go to the
please
pull up the Latin Vulgate 380 AD, the Latin Vulgate, and then go to the Song of Solomon and read verse 4 and verse 5, chapter 1, verse 4, verse 5. You'll see that Solomon's called a negrita. And negrita or nigger never had negative connotations. Back in those days, it simply meant black. And you ain't gonna believe this.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to Luke, the 3rd chapter, verse 26, one of the descendants of Jesus called Nagy or nigger.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Now, since you said that, though, when we deal with the term black, Negro, Moor, it's not a designation for a religion. Would you agree with that? When we deal with the word black, Negro, and Moor, Moreno, singular, popular, feminine, masculine, I could say in all the variations, but when it comes to this term, how do you feel about the Hebrews that would be described as Moors? I want to ask you that.
Look, man, a Hebrew and a Moor is one and the same.
Okay, say that again.
You guys, and based on what I've been hearing lately in the arena,
the arena,
arena that being social media, it appears that a lot of Moors are calling themselves Moorish Hebrews now,
right?
Because you cannot separate the two. Because the Moor, whether he realizes or not, he is also a Hebrew Israelite.
So I know that now. People gonna say because of your,
hey, bro, y'all everybody in America, the Apostolic, the Black Apostolic, the Black Baptist, the Black Kojic Church of God in Christ, the Black Lutheran, they all Hebrews. They just don't know it.
Now, the surnames, Lee Cummings. I see. I got your dictionary, Lee Cummings, so I can call you out now.
Call me out.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a little something. I'm gonna call you out a little something. No, for real though. In your dictionary, you got Komens. It's your book.
Yeah.
Commons. Right?
Right.
And you breaking down how your name right now is spelled on the screen will coordinate in transcription to Komens out of Scotland, and how these people from the Byzantine Empire, right?
That's correct.
End up becoming these are Hebrews as you described them in the breakdown, But the Byzantine Empire would show that these people became Roman citizens, even though their background might be Hebrew.
You're doing
Wait.
a better job. You're doing a better job at this than me.
Don't play with me. Don't be playing with me now. You thought I ain't playing. I ain't come on here.
Are you sure you're not Lee Cummings?
I come here to play with you.
This guy, I like this guy. Hey man, you doing a good job, buddy.
I'm not sleeping. I'm on my shit. I ain't gonna front. You had me zoned when I read your dictionary. I was like interested, and I seen my surname, other surnames, other people's surnames.
So guess what? So
I'm trying to understand.
You are Scott.
I got Scott. Yeah, that genealogy is not gonna go around.
You are
the
Scott,
fact that
bro.
I see in my surname.
You are noble. Yeah, your family was one of the original noblemen from the Highlands of Scotland.
Oh, that's a fact. How about I tell you that? I'm a Brown. How can I turn down that? I'm not going to tell you that I'm not. I know what the Brown thing go back to. So I know. Oh, even the Sephardic line. Now, the Sephardic part, before I let you leave me tonight, I only got like 10 minutes of your time left on this.
Man, this time, hey, man, what kind of time we on?
My time,
we must be on some time where we running in mud.
Yeah, goddamn. No, Lee, for real though.
Go ahead, man.
The Sephardic situation, right? Of these surnames, and you got the Scottish, and you just said tonight. You said in Scotland, the Scottish is the 13 colonies. You made that claim,
right? You have 4 kings that started colonies. King James had Plymouth, and what was the other one? Virginia. King Charles. Yeah. King Charles had about 4. King Charles, his son, who was a Scot, had about 4 colonies. Had started 4 colonies. King Charles II, who was a Scot, he had I think 4 or 5 colonies, and then King James II was a Scot. He was the one that founded New York. It was named after him, the Duke of York. And then King George the German was given credit for founding Georgia.
Wait, stop. Georgia, my people come Georgia.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
I got a lot of people.
It's real. It's real, man. These white folk know it's real. I was on the elevator one day, and I was working as an accountant. And the guy come up from the mailroom. He said, "Hey, man, I heard we're going to get reparations." I said, "Reparations?"
Reparations?
I said, I'm not interested. I don't want reparations. I want 13 states. All the whites on the elevator stared at me.
You said that?
I said it just like that, man, because I got knowledge. The 13 states, that Eastern Seaboard belongs to us, man.
And you're saying that from a fact of knowing, based off that charter research. We know King James did a charter in 1605. You're saying that we know, matter of fact, we ain't got to say that you
go back and read the original charters.
We know that he was a Scot. He was the king of Scotland at that time.
And you go back and get the eyewitness description of a Scot. They was always black, man.
Always
black. They still black to this day. You gonna run to a cat tomorrow. You gonna be minding your own business. The Lord gonna have somebody run past you. His last name gonna be Scott.
Isn't it interesting that the Scots, though,
you gonna meet a black woman? Her name gonna be Brittany.
I met a Brittany woman before, but don't really mess with me.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
Trying to get me in trouble.
Real.
No, this is real. I think that what people don't understand is, though, that when we deal with the fact of these Scots in the 13 colonies that you have in this book, that's why I want people to go. Shout out to Lee Cummings again, the author of the Negro Question series. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with all this information. And I know I'm an Aboriginal American, and he said Hebrew Israelite. We can get, because genealogy-wise, we're tied. Lee Cummings, how do you feel about that, Lee Cummings? Based off of genealogy and in the books you're putting out between the Aboriginal American and these Scots and these different Europeans that are swarthy that you're saying are connected to us.
Look, man, when I first started, I used to think, I used to think that the Moors was tripping. But then when I sat down and talked to a couple of them, and they and they basically, okay, this is how we feel. This is what we own. This is what we know. And I said, oh, these the guys. They just call themselves Moors. That's the way I see it.
But Moor means dark skin. Can we pull up Black and Moor? Got agree real quick before I leave you tonight. This is something that is going on in our circle of information, and you are covering. And you mentioned the Moors. You mentioned Aboriginal America. You're not biased. That's why I like your information so much.
I'm telling you,
that
man.
you're
You
very,
know,
very.
Look,
you know what I mean?
bro. You can't just be a scholar or a teacher to the Hebrews. You got to be a scholar teacher to all Black folks. It's look, my ministry I don't just write to Hebrews or Moors or apostolics or church. I write to all Black folks and then to the rest of the world, because you got white folks out here who really want to know the truth.
Facts.
And so I'm inclusive. I'm inclusive, man. You want to know the truth? We'll teach it to you. Don't care what you look like, what your religion is. We will teach you.
All right, bet. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I tap into you myself. That's why we're going to do this the way we're doing it. So this term, Blackamoor, from your educational standpoint, it says here, Blackamoor, a dark-skinned person, black-skinned African, 1540s from black, adjective. This says plus more.
That's a whoever, whose book is that? Whose dictionary is that?
It's etymology.com.
That's illogical. And there's a reason why that's illogical. Because the programming from white America was that all blacks came from Africa. See, right. That's a lie. Blacks was living and ruling in Europe. And we also we had a great foothold in Mesopotamia. Okay, we were there. All of Mesopotamia was us. All of Asia was us, because Asia is part of Mesopotamia. Okay, so these dictionaries are they are promoting the brainwash. All blacks come from Africa. I used to think that also.
Right. That's why it makes it beautiful that we're having this conversation tonight. That's why it makes it so beautiful.
We're going to do a part 2, man.
We're going to do a part 2.
Hey, I got to get
I'm
up
gonna let
in
you
the morning.
sleep. I'm going to let you sleep, Lee. And we're going to talk again. I'm going to see you again. You already know that.
Oh, man, look, man, you are honorary. You one of the guys. You represent your crew very well. And it's good. You're also quite informed. You surprised me. You did your homework.
I got more. I ain't gonna lie. I can't even give it out on this show like this, because it's actually so much deep in detail that I want to make sure that people get it on a surface level, because I know who might come in and tap into us.
Now
here.
Look, check this.
What I mean? Aboriginal Americans, we ain't playing around, by the way, with our genealogy.
Look, when they go to the bookstore, you can buy books, you can buy ebooks. We got hard covers, we got paperbacks, we got ebooks, and we have a library, which means you can go into the library and read anything you want at the Negro Question Library for $9.99 a month. You can go in and just
promote that
and gorge intellectually.
Get them to them. Say that again, Lee Cummings. What you got going on right now?
The Negro Question Bookstore, because we offer hardcovers, we offer paperbacks, we sell ebooks. And I just set up the Negro Question Library. That's $9.99 for 30 days. Everybody got $9.99. I got $9.99. Wait a minute, I used to have $9.99. I bought a pizza with it, but anyway. But with that $9.99, you could go to the library and read the entire collection for 30 days. You can read, and then and if you can't get through it in 30 days, just renew.
Hey, man, support the business. And the fact that you're doing the work.
I did all the work for you.
You did the work.
All you got to do is give me $9.
Hey, look, I'm going to say, because of that, we do the same thing on our side. You know what I'm saying? We got the same situation set up for Aboriginal Americans. And that's why it's the same thing. $10 a month. You get our library and all the things, too. Exactly. That's why I can. And I'm still in business with you. when it comes to what you're covering, because I don't cover what you cover. That's why we don't have no problems, because I don't cover that, and I don't want you to cover that. I'd rather tap into you so people can get it. They can ask their questions.
I thought you were supposed to. Hey, look, like I already told you, I'm gonna come online with you guys, and I'm gonna teach history and Hebrew whenever you guys get ready.
You say it again.
Set it up. I already told you. I'm letting it be known right now that I'm gonna participate with your program.
We ain't playing. See, listen, y'all. When we got to get to a different level of remedies, we try to get to in the 21st century, we got to know our genealogy. In the history, certain people like Lee Cummings and people that are actually digging in and doing the transliteration and all the stuff that's going on and can break down. And I'm telling you, you impressed me though, Lee Cummings. Before I leave you tonight, you impressed the shit out of me with your dictionary.
I respect that, bro.
No.
Hey, man,
your dictionary is sterile, bro. I can't wait to get the physical part. I'm mad at the post office.
Don't worry about it. I'm on top of the niggas tomorrow. I'm on top of them tomorrow morning. I'm going down to the PO to make sure as soon as it touches down, it's going to turn right back around and go out the same day.
I ain't mad. It's going to be all right. But with the problem I really want to tell you that I found in the book, it's like a surprise. So when I get you next time on the show, when I can schedule you next, I'm going to go in on this part. So I'm giving you a heads up. You talked about the Basque. You mentioned the Basque. And wait. You also
but them cats.
I gotta wait for next time.
Them cats was all over Europe. Huh?
No, wait. I don't want you to go in too much. You mentioned the Martu. You mentioned the Amorites. You went in on that. The Aramaic dictionary. Like, can you just before you leave in the night, can you give me a little bit about this Aramaic and Hebrew thing? Because people don't understand. Your dictionary is Aramaic.
Well, what it is we wrote this book in Aramaic. There's like maybe 5 different strands of ancient Hebrew that shows up in the book. Aramaic, which is the language of the prophets, the kings of Israel and Judah, and Yeshua, Jesus. We provide you seals that were written in Aramaic. We provide you, there are 5 different strands of Hebrew in this dictionary: Aramaic, Phoenician, Ammonite, Keratapa, or the Keratapa still, which is found in ancient Anatolia. We provide you with artifacts. We show you Aaron and Moses' name on the Dead Sea Scrolls. And so this is a unique book. You'll have a word in English, and a J right next to it, you have the Aramaic spelling with a Bible verse and artifacts. This is a generational dictionary. Why? As long as a Bible is being published in the world, that dictionary is going to always be relevant. You can pass it down to your children, your children's children.
I'm glad you said that. Now, when you broke that down, by the way, I want people to know, because some people still don't know. You moving as autonomous as I can get on the level you be doing. See how you be moving. That's why I vibe with you. See, Lee. So, give people the website. Every time I get on with you, I want people to know how they can get these books. Now, wait. By the way, wait, Lee, don't do this to me now. Wait. I gotta tell people, the Autonomous Party does have an agreement with Lee Cummings Live. I'm telling y'all that we can provide the program, the class of this dictionary, so you can get with us. But at the same time, I ain't no hater because this man's the one doing it. So, Lee, tell them what you're doing, dog. Tell them what you got going on with the classes and the website and everything.
Look, we want to make real history available to our people. So I said, okay, I'll teach a free history course, 6,000 years of human history. Plus, I teach you how to translate ancient Aramaic. You buy the dictionary. The dictionary will allow you to sit in the class for free. That's all you got to do. Buy the dictionary. You buy the dictionary. You can sit in the classroom for free. We teach that class on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 o'clock Central Time. And we got another class starting March 1st We cut a deal with the brothers, and y'all go
That's
through
me.
him.
That's
Y'all
me.
go through him, and then you buy the dictionary, you get the class for free. Or you can
That's
come
a
to the
fact.
Negro Question Bookstore.
Tell
It's
them.
called the Negro Question Bookstore, Lee Cummings, and it'll bring you right to the bookstore. You come on and just shop with us, man. Listen, this is one of the great times in the history of the so-called Negro. We have passed through some very serious eras. We come through the alleged slave era. We came through the abolitionist era. We came through the civil rights era, and now we find ourselves immersed in an era where the Negro he don't really know which way to go. So, but one thing God has done, or the Creator, he has shed the light on America. America is the only nation right now that's putting out light. And that light is coming from Chicago. And it's coming from off the East Coast. It's coming from in the South. But it's all of us. But you cannot grow being a fanatic in whatever it is that you are doing. You got to allow yourself to experience external stimuli, other information. You don't have to change. Nobody asking you to change or to be something or to join something, but you have to expand your horizons intellectually. You just got to.
I want to tell you something though. I'm gonna leave you with this. This is my last question for tonight before we get out of here. And I thank you for the time. And I'm gonna bring you back. You already know I told you that. I'm rocking with you on this. So we gonna get this information out. No.
Ooh, more to bed. I'm out. I'm out. I'm back.
Sometimes we is what it is. All right, so pull me up. Mute. All right. We good.
All right, so check this out. This page right here is going to be page 125 in your book. Excuse me. This is the following 83 not intended free black Scots and Roman citizens.
You know what that means?
Free black Scots and Roman citizens.
You know what that means? That means that the so-called Negro in America is a what? The Roman citizen did not die out. The Roman citizens were the Byzantines who became the Black Brits who came into the 13 colonies. So guess what? The Roman citizens are who? You. And you don't believe it? One of the Maccabees, John Maccabee's son, cut a deal with Rome. He entered into a covenant with Rome. And Rome gave us citizenship. Even though we were Judeans, we also had Roman citizens. So guess what I am? Not only am I a Hebrew, not only am I a U.S. citizen, but I'm also a Roman citizen.
Ah.
That's crazy, right?
No, that's crazy. No, that's why I had to ask you that tonight, because I think a lot of people get confused in history about
Rome
this
part. Dead, man. The Romans didn't die. We just had our minds erased.
Nah, man, that's deep right there, Lee. Man, that
I
is
know,
so,
dude. We got amnesia.
That is deep.
Hey, look, bro, I gotta go. I gotta get up at 6 in the morning. So we'll do part 2, okay?
Part 2, no problem.
All right, man. Hey, guys,
Lee,
do me a favor. Go to the Negro Question Bookstore, Lee Cummings. Shop with me, man.
Shop with him.
Hey,
like I said, we partners, so I'm letting y'all know I got the plug. I'm letting you know in front of his face. I'm letting y'all know I got the plug. But at the same time,
hey, we'll do it again. Just let me know you want to do Wednesday, Thursday. Let's come right back.
Let's come back. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna follow up.
Tell the guys I said later.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, peace, bro.
Peace. Man, that's Lee Cummings, man. Thank you for Lee Cummings joining us tonight for this 13 Black. It's a conversation because if you have the book, by the way, you know what I mean? Because we can get into you reading details of the book. You got to read for yourself these kind of things, I feel. You know what I mean? For you to comprehend what's going on. I wanted to have a conversation with it because it's his book. So you can see for the record that he's not denying certain things. You know what I mean? And the pictures and everything that's in the book. You know what I mean? I ain't going to ruin it for the man. I want the man to get his credit for what he do. His flowers. Sunflowers, by the way. I don't deal with roses. Because roses stack. But anyways, this same book. I'm gonna go to this part right here. It's gonna be page 125. If you got this book, get the book. These surnames, I'm like, be familiar with some of you people out here doing your genealogy studies and stuff. Even though right now, shout out to Opie Mia, by the way. Shout out to Opie. Opie! You do our genealogy, Aboriginal American genealogy, twice a month on a Thursday at 6 o'clock Eastern, live on Clubhouse. But at the same time, these surnames we've been going over and certain things we were finding, you can find Johnston, Finney, Malcolm, Ferguson, Stork, again, Mitchie, McIntosh, Donaldson, Kerr, like Steve Kerr, Grant. This that word again. This that surname. Urkhurat. Urquhart. Right. Duncan, Brown, Ray, Kaplan, Wright, McQueen, Abbott, Robertson, Wood, Watt with the 2 T's. And this at the top of that page, 125 in that book, it says the following 83 are not intended. It says free Black Scots / Roman citizens. Now, as he said tonight, because he's not biased, he said he Hebrew. I ain't mad at that. But in this same joint, though, he shows this page too. That's another page. And this page is going to go into a lot of surnames that's in the Black dictionary that he has as well, as he talked about the Byzantine Empire and how these people that would be considered Hebrews, Black, swarthy, also could be used the term Moor as a dark-skinned person that could be considered a Hebrew underneath the Roman system of Scotland, clans of Scotland. And you're going to find these same surnames that you might find in America today. So I want to make sure that's also understood. 126 in his book. It's in the dictionary too. A good little more detail though. Shout out to Lee Cummings. Again, mad names in this book. It's Black History Month. And I want you to, Black Freedmen Month, because a lot of these people that came from Scotland, Ireland, and all those places, Britain, the Iberian, now anybody that's described as what they call 15th century, we also call Europeans. And the fact that they have disguised as if these Europeans that came in the 15th century weren't looking like us. And the Aboriginal group of people that they came in contact with were being discriminated against because they weren't a part of their system. It wasn't a racist thing at that time. It was a religious thing at that time. But later on, as Benjamin Franklin did put out, 1751, the swarthy thing that he put out about all these areas and all these people he's come across. Benjamin Franklin knows. He's a founding father. He's Philadelphia. Shout out to Philly. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we have to do historical understanding of what they're really saying, because Benjamin Franklin to me he's not me. If it's a European, if you want to say indigenous, or you want to say whatever background, he's not going to be considered today like me. So Benjamin Franklin is telling you what is going on, and he has an agenda of what to do to move forward to increase his group of people. I think we need to understand. That's why I just think this book, Lee Cummings book, shout out to him. The part 6. If you ain't got it, get it. There's mad surnames in here. You better get out of here. Blaze, I want to make sure you tap in with us, though. Shout out the Thomas Party. Shout out to everybody in the chat tonight that's vibe with us tonight in this conversation. I mean, I think, shout out to Rhonda Johnson. I think she did a great job on her build on King James. Truth Uncompromised. So you need to go check her out and how she broke that down, too, particularly about him. But we still going to deal with the Swarthy individuals and the Moorish individuals. That's still a dark-skinned person, you know what I mean, from over there. That genealogy, surnames, especially dealing with the British, Scottish, Irish, Britain, right? German, too. I ain't going to leave nobody out. The Mediterranean, North Africa, and the term they use is to how they came over here, and genealogy standpoints, with surnames and everything, that actually might have been labeled as Christians by the time they got here, in some way or another. So anyway, we thank y'all for joining us for this vibe we did tonight with the Black history, Black American freedmen. Matter of fact, I gotta put this up before I go. A Frenchie, because he said the French were black slave owners, right? Did he not say that? He said the blacks were black. The black and the Spanish were some black slave owners. So that's interesting. So up until a certain time, these black French and Huguenots and certain people who converted underneath their Roman citizenry that we might not read about and find in everyday documentation. You got to do some research for that. We're going to get to this person that I know to be a Frenchie. I'm telling you, it's dealing with the word African, Africani, Africanus, because it's still dealing with the Roman. We're still dealing with Romans. We're still dealing with a system of manumission. We're still dealing with emancipation. When I say all these different words, you can go do your research on. By the way, I'm going to stick to the script on that part, and you can come see me about that any time of the day. We're going to talk about it from that standpoint, source by source. Is a former French legal form denoting a freedman, emancipated slave. What was a term used pejoratively, which is a slur, negative connotation, to mulattoes, mixed people, which would be these people, Webster Dictionary, 1828, American, European, Aboriginal, indigenous people that look like Lee Cummings said tonight, that was swarthy, right? That these people who would be called European at that time, and it's a layman term word, now you get descriptive with things, could be basically swarthy. Aborigine Amakario. I'll leave y'all tonight with that. So the campaign. Shout out to all the Aboriginal Americans out there with all your 8 to 11 campaign, 8 to 9 campaign mix. Blaze, get us out of here. Man, I've been building mounds. Now my mounds turn to pyramids, you heard? Peace.
Yeah, you're listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Sometimes it make your mind dissolve, trying to solve something not meant for you to solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace. Sometimes you got too much involved, trying to solve personal problems you should solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace. Check me out. To free my mind, I leave my house and hit the intercoastal. Sitting right in my backyard, this shit is really local. It's like my problems run away when I sit by the water. Meditating, sitting still, I become the water. Jump off the cliff of life, release my parachute of problems, everything's alright. At least that's what I tell myself until it hit the night. The spirit synchronized with my blood, I'm taking flight. My mind consumed. The devil said he moving in, but I ain't got no room. He wanna break me down and tear me up what I assume, but I just keep on grinding. Up to my top chakra, feeling like a Buddhist on a mountain, sitting proper, traveling God, moving through the cosmos, space and time. But all I really know, I'm at my zenith, familiar with my inner peace because I seen it. Sometimes it make your mind dissolve, trying to solve something not meant for you to solve. You got to search for inner peace. What? Inner peace. Sometimes you got too much involved, trying to solve personal problems you should solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace. Bonquisha had a baby, but that baby didn't make it. Feeling like she's all alone and can't no one related. She permed her hair, put in some weave and made her nails long. Aspirations of stripping and making millions. Packed it up, left her mom, moved to South Beach, hoping she could make a living off monogamy. But things changed when she met a G. She fell in love with the dream he sold and everything she see. The big cars, Cuban links, and the real estate. Hoping he would take her to a realer place. She lost in the facade, things ain't what they seem. He left her for a girl that had some bigger dreams. She got no money, got no job, ain't nowhere to go. She ran back to her mama's house and broke down on the floor. Her mama told her, you stuck in the belly of the beast. You need to search for inner peace. Sometimes you got too much involved, trying to solve something not meant for you to solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace. Sometimes it make your mind dissolve, trying to solve personal problems you should solve. You got to search for inner peace. Inner peace. Hey, Timberlands or the flip-flops. Go ahead and put it up for the hip-hop. Timberlands, Nikes or the flip-flops. Go ahead and put it up for the hip-hop. I do it, we do it, it's for the hip-hop.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze.
Something simple on this one. Hey, sometimes it make your mind dissolve, trying to solve something not meant for you to solve. You got to search for inner peace. What? Sometimes you got too much involved, trying to solve personal problems you should solve. You need to search for inner peace. Woo!
Super Blaze is in the mix.
You know, everything is vintage. Everything is classic. Cause ain't nothing new under the sun. That means it's done before. But not like this though. Yeah, the guy flows giving with such precision. Flow like a Maybach, that's what keep me driven. Roof partition, scribing to the cosmo, omnipotent vision. I'm everywhere, tell me what I'm really missing. Traveling man, jumping past dimension. P now too wide open to see religion. Resonating way too loud for me to listen. Is you listening? Merc Kush jumping out the gym like Blake Griffin. Have your mind somewhere in the ethers missing. I cook food for thought and they proceed to listen. Cause my flow's nourishment and my words are living. See my tongue way stronger than that gun you gripping. Cause a big bang like the birth of earth was given. I get missing through the instruments and melody. I don't make music, I compose sound therapy. I think I'm Nick Tesla, or Bob Marley, master of ceremony, nigga, I'm God body. Cracking up a bottle open and I'm calling Baron. Osiris Green, Mosra beads, got them knockers staring. You know everything is vintage. Everything is classic. Cause ain't nothing new under the sun. That means it's been done before. But not like this though. Yeah, the guy flows giving such precision. Flow like a way back, that's what keep it driven. Root partition, scribing to the cosmo, omnipotent vision. I'm everywhere, tell me what I'm really missing. Traveling man, jumping past fifth dimension. P now, too wide open to see religion. Resonating way too loud for me to listen. Is you listening? Merc Kush jumping out the gym like Blake Griffin. Have your mind somewhere in the ethers missing. I cook food for thought and they proceed to listen. Cause my flow's nourishment and my words are living. See my tongue way stronger than that gun you gripping. Cause a big bang like the birth of earth was given. I get missing through the instruments and melody. I don't make music, I compose sound therapy. I think I'm Nick Tesla, or Bob Marley, master of ceremony, nigga, I'm God body. Cracking up a bottle open and I'm calling Baron. Osiris Green, Mosra beads, got them knockers staring. I think I'm Jeff Fort, Noah Drew. Painting pictures with these words, man, it's what I do. Shouts out the Thriller campaign, nigga, what it do? Keeping everything kosher, no Jew. How I ride on the day that Noah would die. I'm a rule back, we supposed to ride. You know everything is vintage. Everything is classic. Cause ain't new under the sun. That means it's been done before. But I like this though. Yeah, God flows give with such precision. Flow like a Maybach, that's what keep it driven. Roof partition, scribing to the cosmo, omnipotent vision. I'm everywhere, tell me what I'm really missing. Traveling man, jumping past fifth dimension. P now, too wide open to see religion. Resonating way too loud for me to listen. Is you listening? Merc Kush jumping out the gym like Blake Griffin. Have your mind somewhere in the ethers missing. I cook food for thought and they proceed to listen. Cause my flow's nourishment and my words are living. See my tongue way stronger than that gun you gripping. Cause a big bang like the birth of earth was given. I get missing through the instruments and melody. I don't make music, I compose sound therapy. I think I'm Nick Tesla, or Bob Marley, master of ceremony, nigga, I'm God body. Cracking up a bottle open and I'm calling Baron. Osiris Green, Mosra beads, got them knockers staring. I think I'm Jeff Fort, Noah Drew. Painting pictures with these words, man, it's what I do. Shouts out the Thriller campaign, nigga, what it do? Keeping everything kosher, no Jew. How I ride on the day that Noah would die. I'm a rule back, we supposed to ride. How I ride on the day that Malcolm died. By any means, I'm living my life. Ay, since an adolescent, be getting it right. Could the people who were pressing ain't caring for life. Had to make my own way from nickel and dime. Till a nigga graduated and got me a pine. Where I'm from, man, them boys ain't playing around. Hopping out ski mask, they laying it down. Just because you match a description. Even though we all know it's fiction. All they really wanna do is convict him. Forge his name or make up a victim. When it's feeling like the world is against them. It's all good, nigga, galaxies with them. It's all good, could a galaxy with them. It's all good, nigga, my yacht with them. Hey. Shouts out to my ancestors. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blade, let's go.
Thriller campaign. The real is. Live life always. Y'all know, my folks so serious. Woo!
Check it out.
I see.
Voice of One, Mike Ether. That's when he was Mike Burner back then. But salute either way, bro. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Hit my phone. Everything is vintage.
10 years ago, man. Vintage. You know what I mean? Same time, same place next week, man. I'm gonna pull it back again one more time. Same time, same place next week. You know what it is, man. Like, share, subscribe. Every time I want to party. We on YouTube, Mixcloud.
Under the sun, that means it's been done before. But not like this, though. Yeah. The guy flows giving with such precision. Flow like a Maybach, that's what keep me driven. Roof partition, scribing to the cosmo, omnipotent vision. I'm everywhere, tell me what I'm really missing. Traveling man, jumping past fifth dimension. P now, too wide open to see religion. Resonating way too loud for me to listen. Is you listening? Merc Kush jumping out the gym like Blake Griffin. Have your mind somewhere in the ethers missing. I cook food for thought and they proceed to listen. Cause my flow's nourishment and my words are living. See my tongue way stronger than that gun you gripping. Cause a big thing like Bertha was giving. I get missed through the instruments melody. I don't make music, I compose sound therapy. I think I'm Nick Tesla, Bob Marley, master of ceremony, nigga, I'm God body. Cracking up a bottle open and I'm calling Baron. Osiris Green, Mosra Beads, got them niggas staring. I think I'm Jeff Fort, Noah Drew. Painting pictures with these words, man, it's what I do. Shouts out the Thriller campaign, nigga, what it do? Keeping everything kosher, no Jew. How I ride on the day that Noah would die. I'm a rule back, we supposed to ride. How I ride on the day that Malcolm died. By any means, I'm living my life. Hey, since an adolescent, been getting it right. Cause people who were pressing their camera for life. Had to make my own way from nickel and dime. Till a nigga graduated and got me a pine. Where I'm from, man, them boys ain't playing around. Hopping out ski masks, they laying it down. Just because you match a description. Even though we all know it's fiction. All they really wanna do is convict him. Forge his name or make up a victim. When it's feeling like the world is against them. It's all good, nigga, galaxies with them. It's all good, could a galaxy with them. It's all good, nigga, my yacht with them. Hey. Shouts out to my ancestors. Oh, wow. Thriller campaign. The real is. Live life always. Y'all know, my folks so serious. Woo! General C. Trey, what up? Yogi. Himotep. Fresh, what up, nigga? Hit my phone. Everything is vintage.
Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze. Let's go.